So, I discovered something very interesting the other day.
Okay, it's here.
And I had a thought, but it was more so because I was listening
Just
to
one.
something. Yeah, so many. So I was listening to, on the radio, in the morning on our way to work, we listen to the radio. And
Yep.
on the radio, they have this thing called the Whiz Quiz, where they do a quiz with kids.
Okay.
10 questions. And if you get all, so 100 Rand per question. But if you get all 10 questions, you get 10,000 Rand.
Okay. That's
So
a lot of money for kids.
I know. So this 10-year-old girl, she called in to do the quiz. And I heard her voice and I was like, the child's going to get one. If she's lucky, she's going to get one. She just had this sweet young child voice. And I was like, there's no way she's going to get this. I was very wrong. 10 out of 10. Won 10,000 Rand yesterday. And I was so pumped. And I was trying to figure out, why am I so excited for this child that I do not know, this person that I do not know? And I was celebrating her win like it was my own, or it was like somebody that I knew. And it got me thinking about wins. One of your favorite topics.
Yes.
Something you like to talk about. And it was then something that also happened yesterday where it went the other way, where a win was negated. So I was like, why do we... And I guess that's my first question to you. When it comes to wins, why do we go, yes, but, right? So I did this thing well, but I could have done it better. Why do we do that with wins? Broad.
It's very, very broad. As a generalization,
Yes.
most people do that because we've been taught not to get excited about wins. School teaches us that wins are not okay. School teaches us mediocrity.
Yeah.
I mean, if I just look at when my girls were at school, everybody got a participation award.
Which is madness.
Which is crazy because you're teaching kids that it's okay to be mediocre and it's okay to settle for average.
For just participating. Just show up.
Just show up. And so kids that are just showing up now want to make less of the kids that are doing well because instinctively we know that they're doing better than us.
Yeah.
So we want to make them feel lesser because we know that they're doing better than us, but we want to make ourselves feel better.
Yeah. And as soon as you said that, I was like, so yet again, that's how when we grow up to become adults, we end up in the position that we end up in, right? Because
Correct.
All I need to do is show up for my job and I'll get paid. Because that's what school told me. If I just participate.
And school, I mean, recently we were chatting to a couple of teachers and there's such a focus on kids passing.
Yes.
The matric, whatever it is, the pass rate. And that is the only focus. The focus is on kids must pass.
Yes.
Because then we look good.
Yep.
But the reality is that kids are just repeating what they get told. So that pressure builds of children passing, kids are not being taught to think.
Okay.
They're being taught to just pass.
Yeah. Just regurgitate what you know.
Just correct. So they're not being taught to think. And so in the whole school system is teaching children not to think. And so if we're not thinking, why would we celebrate wins? Because we're not actually thinking about wins or other people. We're thinking about just doing enough to pass.
Okay, I got another question, but before that, hello, everybody, and welcome to a brand new episode of the Uncovering Greatness podcast. As always, I am your host, Sully, and today I am joined by Nicole Mitchell. Nicole is the lead processor at Uncovering Greatness. She is the fittest processor on the planet, and she is also my favorite processor ever. Not that I've had any other processors before, but actually I would say she's my favorite mental health professional because I've had a lot of mental health professionals in my life. And this is the only one that's actually worked for me. And what Nicole does is she helps you get out of the way of you. How are you doing?
I'm very good, thank you, Sully.
So
How are you?
I'm good. So the reason why I started the way that I started I'm learning a lot more about, these algorithms are defeating me right now. Gosh.
Yep.
So the YouTube algorithm is basically, you got that, we've spoken about it before. So you've got that 10 seconds, of whether or not people are going to stay.
Yep.
And if we're doing intros for 10 seconds, no one's going to stay. So I need to come in and say something. So you guys know why I'm doing what I'm doing. I'm not just, there's method to my madness.
Yeah, I mean, it's fascinating because I mean, you say 10 seconds. I think Time Magazine said it's 9, and that was 2019. So
Yeah, I think it's less.
it's probably less
Yeah.
than 9 seconds that you've got. But anyways, who's counting?
Yeah. And especially for like a podcast like ours, there's nothing controversial. There's nothing, we're not a crazy podcast. You know what I mean? We're not saying wild things. So retention is not, this is very specific for a very niche group of people. And that's awesome, but challenging at the same time.
Correct, because you got to get the right people's attention in a short period of time.
100%. And I've struggled celebrating the win of being able to do that over the past few weeks. Really, I have. So that leads me to my next question, because I know it's one of the key questions that you ask before a session starts, but also it's something that we do in our business of celebrating wins, right? Do you feel, or do you think that, and this is also a generalization, people feel awkward celebrating wins?
Yes.
Why? It's the first time you've ever done that. You caught me off guard there, sorry. Why do you think people feel awkward celebrating wins?
A number of reasons, because most of the time people get made wrong for acknowledging wins. So at school, well, I'll use this example. Michaela got selected to play for the provincial hockey team. And then school, they went on a school tour, and it was a random school tour. It was a fun tour. And at that stage, we didn't have the funds to pay for both tours at the same time.
Okay.
They were within 2 weeks of each other. And Michaela, we gave her the option, which one did she want to go? And of course, she said she wanted to go to the provincial school tour.
Of course, yeah.
And the fun sort of school tour that they were doing, and it wasn't even like it was the first team. It was like any of the kids that wanted to go could go, and so she went on the provincial tour, and then the school tour she didn't go on, and all the kids gave her a really hard time. Oh, you think you're too good to join us? Oh, you think you're you think you're better than us? And the kids gave her a really hard time about winning because they were upset she didn't go with, but they made their points known.
Yeah.
And so as a result, Michaela, next time, what does she want to do? Like,
to go with the crowd.
Go with the crowd.
Yeah.
So why you don't want to put yourself out there, because people will point fingers at you. Because when you win, you are, you're a tall poppy. Everybody can see you. And so you put yourself out there and you start winning, people want to cut you down.
And so now that's sort of from a group perspective, right?
Correct.
With other people. So I don't want to celebrate wins anymore because in the past, somebody else, other people have made me wrong for celebrating my win. So I'll give you the example of yesterday, because I told you that there's two things.
Yes.
So a member of our team made a phone call, and I do this thing, and hopefully they don't watch this episode. So I do this thing where I have my headphones on and they assume that I'm listening to something or whatever, but I'm not listening to anything. I'm listening to them. They don't know that. Now they do. And I was listening to him make a call, and the call probably lasted like maybe 3-4 minutes. And it was just flowing. It was just going so well. And he was talking well. And he was saying the right things and asking the right questions. And I was like, man, this is a good call. So then he got off the call, and immediately he turned around to me and he went, "Man, that was a good call. But,"
Mm-hmm.
and immediately I was like, "Oh man." Now I was dejected because I was like, I didn't think that there was a but. Yeah, there's always things you can improve on. I'm not saying that, it was a perfect call, but the but just, it killed me because I was like, why do we do that? So like, that's my question to you. Why do we do that?
Well, negative energy takes less energy than positive energy. So it's a lot easier to be negative than positive because it takes less energy.
Yeah.
But also society teaches us to look for the negative, and also it's a survival mechanism to look for what's wrong.
Okay.
And so most people are not aware of that. It's a survival mechanism to look for what's wrong or to look for the negative. And because the world has changed so much, most people are not in tune with their spirit or their little voice that says, go and do this, or, that gut feeling of try this or say this or phone this person.
Yeah.
So most people are not in tune with that. So they're not aware of what is their survival mechanism versus their abundance. And so people will generally look for the negative.
Oh, it sucks. Because I mean, one of your favorite things, my favorite thing as well, that we do on our episodes is we talk about not percentages, talk about stats.
Yes.
And I actually saw this and I thought that this was actually really cool. Was teams that regularly celebrate wins show 31% higher productivity and 37% higher retention.
Yeah, because when you celebrate your wins, you acknowledge what you're doing well and you can do it again and again. If you are only ever acknowledging the bad things you do, you're going to keep doing the bad things.
So how does that then,
because that's where your attention is.
On the bad stuff?
Well, if you're only acknowledging the negative, you're putting your attention on the negative, you're going to keep doing the negative things because that's where your attention is. That's where your energy is going to flow.
So is it negative to actually go to do the but? I can get better at it, but I could, so I closed the deal, but it wasn't a big one. Is that a negative?
So I guess my question would be, what mood level was it done in? Because there's nothing wrong with saying, I did it well, however, I could get better.
See, but that's a change of words though, I feel. So that like, however, and I feel like that's way better than but. Because I feel like once you say but, you take away everything else, right? You go, when you literally said what you said now was so spot on. However, I could have done better at A, B, C, D, E. So
correct. And the difference is it's the mood level and the wording.
Okay.
I'm saying the same thing.
Okay.
That's the mood level and the wording, because I'm not negating what I did. A but often negates what we did.
So when you say mood level, what do you mean?
So, I really did that well. However, you know what? I should have done it a lot better.
Okay.
like you can tell, I'm negating the win.
Yeah, you don't care about the win.
I don't care about the win. So that's the mood level.
Okay.
However, if I were to say, oh, I'm so excited about that call. However, I should have done it better, but I'm so excited.
Ooh, I like that.
There's the same. There's not a lot of difference in what I said, but you can feel there's a difference in how I felt. And that's where I say the mood level that people are delivering it in says a lot, because it's more about the mood level than the words.
Okay. So this is and you just tell me if I'm going all over the place, because I've been processing for a while, but this is probably like, I'd say the last 2 weeks I've really gotten into wins. Like I see them for real now. I see their power. Not to say I didn't see their power before, but like now I'm like, damn. Just so you know.
It landed a little bit differently.
Yeah. Just so you know, you're doing a good job as my process. I'm not negating that from you. Just it's more a me thing than a you thing. So I had those thoughts around wins, right? somebody else's win. So you win. So like, for example, you did the marathon.
Half marathon.
Half marathon. Don't do that. Just like banging it, man. I say Ironman, no, half Ironman. Okay. I'm going to call it what I'm going to call it.
Because you know what? It's not to make less of the people that did 42. I only did 21. So I don't want to make less of the 42s.
Fair. Sorry, guys.
So that's why I say it was a half marathon.
Okay. And also, just so you know, that you talking about that performed really well on all platforms, all our social media platforms.
It's also on my Facebook page.
Oh, well done. So thank you guys, actually, more than anything. And thank you for sharing your story. It's a big win. So you have that win, right? We celebrate the win. And I felt like we did celebrate that win because we spoke about it. We discussed it. But how important, like, can your win actually fuel me?
Absolutely.
How so?
Well, you told the story of, at the start of the podcast, you told the story of the young girl.
Yes.
And you were like, I could hear from her voice that she wasn't going to do well.
Yes.
Okay. Why was it such a win for you?
Because I think it's because I didn't expect it. It was unexpected.
Yeah, we root for the underdog.
Yeah. Okay.
So, because how many of us are the underdog?
Oof. Too many of us are.
Too many of us. So when
realize it,
when the underdog starts to win, we get excited.
That's how those underdog movies work.
Correct. And so it's just understanding that we celebrate wins with people we relate to.
Okay.
So a lot of people relate to the fact that, this person ain't going to do well.
Yes.
Because we put ourselves in that situation, and then suddenly and we're like, they weren't going to do so well. And check now, they've got 8. I'm going to listen. I'm going to see what happened. Are they going to get number 9? Are they? And then we're roaring by the time they've got to number 10.
Yeah.
Why? Because the expectation was they weren't going to do well.
Yeah.
And we can relate to that. So we then get excited and we celebrate the win with them.
Yeah.
Because why? We related to them and we celebrate the win and we get excited and we get fired up, and their win becomes our win. Why? Because we relate to them. Just like when you have somebody who goes to, I don't know, a big event and you know them, you relate to them.
Yeah.
You want to see how well they do. But at the same time, if it's somebody that you don't connect to, you don't want to see them do well.
Ooh, okay. Okay.
So if they annoy you or irritate you or they did something that you don't like, you're going, hope they miss. Hope they get this wrong. Right? We do that. We root for people that we connect to.
Yeah, I do that every weekend when Man United is playing. I hope they lose.
You see?
Yeah.
And so unknowingly, and I say unknowingly because it's not a conscious decision, but it's just somewhere along the line, there was something that connected us to that particular being, team, person that we connected with.
So I want to see you win.
I want to see you win. Yeah.
I feel like if people operated like that on social media, everything would be great, actually. Because if you followed, and it's okay. So for example, you spoke about you putting up the post of you finishing the half marathon, and I just saw the comments. Like,
and they're still coming in.
And then you went and you tagged me in it, and now I get the notification when people comment on it. But I was very much like, man, this is amazing to see, right? All these people coming together to celebrate this win of yours. People I don't even know, people I haven't seen for a long time, and they all came together to celebrate this win that you put out. And I was like, man, this is great. If this is how we operated, instead of trying to go for the negative. Yes, I know it's easier, like you said, but I feel like people are following things on social media just for the sake of bashing it, right? You're not even rooting for the underdog. You're more rooting for everybody to fail. It's like you want to see the whole world burn.
It's fascinating because people will root for things that they want to do or they want to be like, so if I look at when Barry did the half Ironman,
Yep.
he put his post up. I mean, he had hundreds and hundreds of people and people he hasn't heard or seen of for years and years putting comments on.
Yeah.
And why? Because it's something that people can relate to as to how much work, effort, and energy went into it. And often it's something people would like to do, but they haven't put the work in. So they understand what it took for you to get there.
Yeah.
And how much work, effort, and energy it took to
100%.
get there. And so it always fascinates me when people do something outstanding, everybody celebrates. But how many people will celebrate someone running a 5K run? Not a lot.
No. It's like, it's only 5Ks.
It's only 5Ks.
Why don't you do 10?
Correct. And yet, if you can do 5Ks, you could probably do 10.
Yeah.
And that's where people get lost, is they don't focus on the small steps that it takes.
Yeah.
So even to run your first 5K is huge.
Massive.
Especially for somebody that's never run before in their life. So like for me, it was, I mean, I remember saying to my nephew, I don't know how I'm going to run for an hour. And he goes, you'll be fine. And I'm like, no, I cannot see myself running for an hour.
Yeah.
So to suddenly start looking at a 21K, which was going to be 2.5 hours, or depending how long you take, 3 hours, it was like, I don't know how I'm ever going to get there.
Feel that. Very much so.
And that's why the 5K was so important. The 5K is so important because if you can run for 35 minutes, you can keep going. But you have to start with those small baby steps. And we often forget to stop and celebrate the small baby steps.
We want the 21K.
We want the 21Ks.
Yeah. We want the R1 million deal.
So people did not see my journey and how hard it was for me and how long it took me to get to 21Ks.
For sure.
They didn't see that journey. They just saw
the end.
The beginning of Nicole doesn't run, and then the end of 21Ks she ran. So people don't actually see the journey in between.
Definitely. I mean, so something you said to me on Monday, this past Monday, which actually got me quite pumped, was, well, you didn't say it. It was, you're asking me about how's my running going. And I said, oh man, like actually for the first time I ran 2Ks without stopping. And you said, wow, that's amazing. Wasn't the reaction I was expecting, but when I got it, I was like, damn, that was actually a big win for me. When it happened, in the moment that it happened, when I crossed the 2K threshold, I kind of went, good job, dude. Like, well done. And then instantly afterwards, I was like, but why didn't you do 3? You still had the gas. You could still go. But but when you said it to me, I was like, damn, wait, man, when was the last time you actually ran 2Ks without stopping? Like, genuinely.
And I remember reading, like in my running program, it says there you run every 2Ks, you walk for 60 or 90 seconds. I can't remember what it was. But anyways, every 2Ks. And I was like, I remember thinking, I can't even run 2Ks. How on earth am I going to get to running 2Ks and then walking for 90 seconds? And one of my goals at the very beginning when I started my journey was to be able to run 2Ks without walking in between.
Okay.
And so it was a big moment for me when I could do that.
Yeah. Yeah.
And we often underestimate how powerful that is, because if you can run 2Ks, walk for 60 seconds, then run another 2Ks, walk for 60 seconds. And that's literally how I ran my 21Ks, is every 2Ks, I walked 60 seconds. And was it exactly 2Ks? No. Sometimes it's like you're running downhill. Well, I'm not going to waste a downhill. I'm going to keep running.
Love a downhill.
And sometimes you're at a K and there's an uphill and you're like, stuff this. I'm
walking.
But if you have that sort of plan of every 2Ks,
Yeah.
that's how you're going to get to do the 21. And that's where the running 2Ks was so critical for me because, and I could so relate to it because it was one of my goals was to be able to run 2Ks without stopping. And I mean, I don't remember the first time I did it, probably because exactly like you, I ran the 2Ks and just went, oh, keep going, whatever you tell yourself. And then I remember running like a few Ks with Michaela once, and she said to me, she goes, I remember when you said you wanted to run 2Ks without stopping. Look at you now. And I kind of like looked and I thought, I don't remember when I ran 2Ks without stopping.
The first time
it actually happened. And so it's so important to be able to stop and acknowledge the first time you do those things. Why? Because that is your building block for whatever you're doing. So, wherever you're planning on going. So, yes, it is important to celebrate that. Just like with the team, the first time they make that phone call where everything runs smoothly, yes, it is important for them to acknowledge it.
Yeah.
Without the but.
Yes.
They can go, great, I learned this and I could get better.
Yeah. So it's just about reframing words to reframe wins. Right?
So that you celebrate the win and acknowledge the win, and I can do that again. But what did I learn? Okay, cool.
Yeah.
I could have asked this differently. I could have, and it's about optimizing. So it's, optimizing it so that you get better each time because you do what you know in the moment.
Yes.
So, I mean, there was a point when, in terms of my journey, when I look back, I twisted my knee 2 years ago. Was it? No, 18 months ago. It was 18 months ago when we went to Namibia.
Okay.
And I twisted my knee. We did UGE in Namibia.
I don't remember when you twisted your knee.
The last day of UGE, and we got on the plane and I could hardly walk.
Oh, yes. Got you. Yes, I remember.
And I literally, when I started my running journey in December of 2024.
Yeah.
I remember September was when I twisted my knee, and October, November, I had platelets put in my knee because I ended up having an MRI and all these sort of things and what have you, and got to a point where there was a point where I could hardly walk on my leg.
Sure.
And by December, I had the 1st of December, 2024. I remember I could literally run 100 meters, and that was it.
Okay.
And that 100 meters was broken between walk, run.
Yeah.
And I'd park the car, I'd take the dog, and we'd go 100 meters, and then I'd have to walk back.
Eesh.
And, to then a year later to run a 21 was, for me, it was huge in terms of the turnaround of doing the rehab work, doing the exercises, making sure that I'm always strengthening my knee, going to physio when my knee got tender, making sure that I was doing the right things, getting the right advice. So it's important to acknowledge all of those things, because why? If I acknowledge the win of booking a physio appointment and sorting my knee out straight away, that's a huge win.
Yeah.
Why? Because I got it sorted that I could keep going.
Yes.
And, it's so important for you to acknowledge all of those wins, because yes, it is common sense that you hurt yourself and you go to a physio appointment. That is common sense. However, we do not always act on common sense.
No, I mean, I tore my ACL, went and did surgery, and was told that I need to do rehab for 6 weeks. I knew exactly like you're saying, it was common sense. I did rehab once, I said, I can't do this shit anymore. It
I'm
was
done.
hard. It was painful. It was all those things. And that one moment changed my sort of life for like 3 years, because my knee was never the same. It had so much scar tissue around it. It had all these issues. And I had to work 10 times harder to actually clear the scar tissue. I was basically told you're going to have to go get another surgery to get the scar tissue removed. And I'm like, I'm not doing that. That's insanity. I'll do it by myself. Now I'll figure it out. And exactly that, getting into physio, then actually putting in the work and actually going, cool, I need to run. But more than actually, my big realization was, dude, you need to stop eating the way you eat, because that weight is just weighing down on your knee, which means you're not moving as optimal as you would want to move.
Yeah. And it's understanding that there is more to the journey of just, I stepped out and I did 21 Ks. And I think that's why it is like people have reacted the way that they did, because a lot of people understand that. You don't understand that when you're 20, but when you're 30, 40, 50, you start to understand it more and more, the journey that it took.
Start to appreciate it more as well.
Start to appreciate it. And if you look, I'm pretty sure if you were to do some research on the comments, most of the people that have commented are not 20-year-olds going,
no, what is that?
Done that.
Come on, I do that on a Tuesday. No, yeah, exactly that, right? It's people who have, they know what it takes.
And at 20, often you don't know what it takes.
Yeah, at 20, you could get up and go run a 21K after a night of drinking.
Or if there are 20-year-olds that have posted, they generally have parents that they have watched do a journey of some way, shape, or form, so they appreciate it. So like some of Michaela's friends have seen the journey, or have walked part of the journey with me, or have seen, me running, that sort of thing. So those would be the people that have commented as youngsters.
It was a crazy win for me for you watching it, was because, you've been doing CrossFit for a while, a few years now.
Mm-hmm.
Fairly fit. When we do UGE, you probably usually at the top when it comes to the burpee challenge.
Oh, that's my favorite thing.
Yeah,
the burpee challenge.
I'm not doing it this year. I'm tired of that nonsense now. I can't keep losing.
That's not the right attitude.
You know how competitive I am. I'm going to end up getting hurt. I just know myself. And I've been so much better at that, which has been such a big win for me, is managing what I'm doing.
Okay. So here's the thing.
Yeah.
Is that when I compete at UGE and I say I want to win, I'm not competing against anybody else except myself.
No, I know that. I can see, it's so weird because I can see it. And my problem is I end up competing with you.
And that's the challenge, is everybody's trying to compete with me instead of compete with themselves.
Yeah.
So if I go back to the very first UGE I did, I was not competing with other people there, because there were people there that were a lot fitter than me.
Yeah.
When we do our burpee challenge.
Yeah.
So at the Ultimate Greatness Experience, which is our 5-day program, we do a 7-minute burpee challenge. So for 7 minutes, you do as many burpees as you can.
Devil.
And the very first time I went to UGE and I did that, I can tell you I was not doing 100 burpees in 7 minutes.
I don't even remember how many you did. I know I didn't do a lot either.
And so my goal has always been either to maintain or get better.
Okay. I like that plan.
Because that is me competing against me. So when everybody's like, oh, you're just out there to be number one. No, I'm out there to be number one for me.
Yeah.
Not number one in the group, not number one in the...
No, and like I've, funny enough, in all the UGEs, I've never seen that type of reaction from you. Do you know what I mean? Like the thing of, haha, I beat you, I'm number one. No, it's always like, it's actually way more reserved than anything else. You kind of, the numbers get put on and you sort of disappear in a sense. Not disappear, but you're not, take the applause, thank you. And you move on. Because
my goal is not to look at me. My goal is to, if I can do it, you can do it.
Yeah. That's a great way to set people up for wins.
And so
win.
it's around, come on, guys, you can keep going. And if you watch me and you see me keep going, then you can keep going.
Yeah.
And if you watch, generally, I'd like to think when I do the burpee challenge that I'm encouraging the people as I'm doing it.
Yeah.
I mean, when you've done it with me, I'm like, come on, Sully, keep going.
I hate it.
When we did it, just the two of us that one time, and I'm like, come on, go, come on, move. Just one more, one more.
It was great. I'm not gonna lie, it was great. That one I enjoyed.
But I'd like to think I'm always watching people as I'm doing the challenge, going, come on, you can do this. Like anybody that's stationary, it's, and it's not a case of, look at me, look how great I am. It's no, if I can keep going, so can you. And that's the kind of where it's I'm trying to encourage people to show people, come on, keep going.
Yeah.
But I'm also very aware of where I'm at. If we were to do UGE now at the moment, I would not be trying to do 100 burpees.
Why?
Because, in terms of where I'm at, I had an op on my mouth recently, and it's just, I'm very aware that it would be downright stupid to try to do 100 burpees right now after you've had an anesthetic. So it's just understanding that I'm always competing against me.
Yeah.
I'm not competing against other people. But I'm also very aware of where am I at.
So oh man, 3 great points, and I need to figure out how to structure them correctly. Okay. I can use you I can use your win to help inspire me, but not, I want to be like Nicole. I want to be better. So she's pushing me. She's doing 100 burpees. Come on, can you get 50 burpees? Because last time you only did 30 burpees. Can you, because she's pushing, she's going, come on, you can do it. You got this, right?
Yeah.
But the next thing is the setup, which I think is super. It's like, not the setup, knowing where you're at to help you with wins. Because I feel like it is something I've struggled with in the past, especially when it comes to my health and fitnesses. I want to get to the end instead of the journey, right? So I push myself super hard, take out all the wins. Like I don't even recall any of them. And then in 3-4 weeks, I'm injured, and then I'm out for 2 weeks. And I'm like, this fitness thing doesn't work.
Correct, because you need to know where you're at. So if we take the 21Ks, the goal was for Barry, Michaela, and myself, the 3 of us, to do it together.
Yeah.
And I mean, 2 weeks before, Michaela had been, she had been doing a lot of weightlifting. She hadn't been running as much. She'd hurt her feet. She'd had some issues. And she hadn't put in the work to do 21Ks.
Okay.
And we had a conversation and said, Michaela, it is not okay for you to do 21. You need to downgrade to 10.
Yeah.
And I mean, she was devastated. And I said to her, look, I am not your coach. Okay. Your goal is weightlifting at the moment. I am not in a position, I can give you what I think, and I'm okay with whatever decision you make.
It's your decision.
It's your decision. However, I feel that it would be wrong for you to run 21. I feel like you would get injured.
Yeah.
And then it's going to affect your weightlifting, and then you're going to be out. And like you say, out for 6 weeks or whatever. And that's really going to knock you. So go and speak to your weightlifting coach. You also have had issues with your feet. So when you go and see the doctor, ask the doctor what the doctor thinks.
Speak to the right people.
Speak to the people that know.
Yeah.
And that's what she did. And her weightlifting coach said, I'd be much happier if you only do 10, because, yes, we don't want you getting injured. And then she went to go see the podiatrist, and he gave her the same advice. Okay. You shouldn't be running more than 10 kilometers, which, in terms of, that's what she did. And she ran her 10Ks, and she didn't get injured. She, and that, for me, that was the win, is that she still did the 10Ks.
Yep.
And yes, she wasn't fit enough to do the 21. And yes, it was disappointing for me that I ran it on my own. And because then Barry landed up not doing it either because he was traveling. And so it was, it was important for each one of us to stick to our own journey, to not get lost in, oh, well, Barry's not here and Michaela's not doing it, so I'm not going to do it.
Yeah.
It would have been so easy for me to do that.
Yeah, perfect cop out.
Perfect. It would have been cool. Okay, you're doing the 10, I'll do the 10 with you.
Yeah, even better.
Even better. Because now and Barry even said to me at one point, are you sure you don't want to do the 10? And I was like, no.
Ooh, strong.
Because the goal was to do a 15K. I did a 15K.
Okay.
And I say before I ran the 21. And all the training programs said if you do 15, you'll manage 21. You just got to dig damn deep on the last 3Ks, which that is exactly what happened. You do have
6Ks, not 3Ks. 15 and then...
Yeah, but if you run 15, they tell you should be able to run 21. However, the last 3Ks will be...
Oh, okay, of the 21.
Of the 21 will be hard.
The hell
you have to dig. You have to dig damn deep. And yes, I did have to dig very deep on those last 3Ks. But the most important thing is that it was my journey, my decision, me. I wasn't lost in, oh, Barry's not doing it, Michaela's not doing it, because so many people get lost in other people. So, and originally there was a fourth person, and she also got sick, and she also landed up not being able to do any running. So there was originally 4 of us that started off, and I was the only one left standing for various different reasons. And it would have been so easy for me to... Super easy.
Everybody would have agreed with you as well.
And cool. But instead, it was so important for me because I focused on me and my goals. And I didn't get lost in, Michaela this, Michaela that. So, and this is where a lot of people do not set themselves up to win. They focus on, oh, well, Barry runs 5Ks in 23 minutes and I only do 35 minutes.
Yeah.
Instead of, I'm so excited I'm out running 5Ks.
Yeah.
Because the average person cannot run 5Ks.
Agreed.
In 35 minutes. And instead of, I am above average and I am this, and my goal is to beat my 35 minutes or whatever your time frame is, or your 45 minutes or whatever it is, we get so lost in, but they can do it better than me. And that's not, you have to stop and go, where am I at?
Yeah.
And exactly like you said, you have to set yourself up for you to win, not for anybody else.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, Barry and I doing the High Rocks in April. I know that in terms of where his fitness is at is far ahead of mine. He's been training for things. He's been the Ironmans, the this, the that. He's consistently been training.
And he's also done 3 High Rocks.
He's also done 3. And he's doing the individual first and then he's doing the double. So I know he's way ahead of me in terms of fitness, but I'm not looking at that. I'm looking and I'm going, well, what do I want to do? Well, I want to compete in the High Rocks. I want to finish the High Rocks. Like for me, not for him. Yes, he's going to be a great push. He's going to be a great motivator.
And you're doing it with him.
100%.
He's there to support you.
100%.
But you're not going to be at his level.
No way. I mean, what is he? He runs a K, for example. I think he said the last time me and him spoke, he says he's doing it like 6 minutes a K.
It's less than that.
You see, I'm at 9 and I'm not going to compete with, I'm going to try and bring my 9 down, but I'm not going to go tomorrow and running at 5 minutes a K.
Correct.
Because I will not do High Rocks in April if I operate like that. So, good.
Yeah, and that is so important. It's like you focus on you and you do what you can do. And can you get it to 8 minutes a K?
100%.
Not go from 9 to 5.
Yeah.
Go from 9 to 8.5. And so it's so important for you to focus on the things that you can do.
Yeah. All right. So let's leave them with something. How do I track my wins? How do I keep my wins? How do I... Talk to me about that.
The most important thing is write down your wins.
Okay.
And when we talk celebrate wins, we're not talking go and get a bottle of alcohol and celebrate with, that's not what we're talking about. We are talking about acknowledge the win that you did. So write it down. What were the abilities that turned on? So I use this example. We were recently in the bush and something said to me, go sit at the waterhole. And something in my spirit said, just go sit by the waterhole and just sit there. And I did. I listened. And that for me was the win.
Yeah.
I listened to my spirit telling me, go and sit at the waterhole. Okay. The effect of that was there was a cheetah and her cub that walked through the waterhole when I was sitting there. And just the timing was absolutely like amazing. And yes, I can say the win was I saw a cheetah and her cub playing in the bushes. But that actually, the ability of listening to my spirit saying, go and sit and wait. And I mean, even when I was sitting there and I was like, there's nothing here, there's some birds. And I was like, okay, just chill out, relax, And then it was like, just enjoy being here. There's a reason, your spirit said, come here. And, it was like, so I looked at the birds and there was a kingfisher and it was like, just enjoy the space. And then just out of nowhere, this cheetah and her cub just walked out. And so the actual win is I listened to my spirit and I did what my spirit told me to do. And, there was a reward. So it's just when you write down your wins, it's look at what was the result, but what was the ability that you did. Okay. So for some people, it's like I spoke out and the win is, I got an increase in my salary. Okay. But the actual, what was the ability that the win was, I used my ability to be confident and speak out.
To ask for what I want.
I was able to ask for what I want. I was able to hold my position.
Like that.
Use my confidence, use my communication skills. There's a whole bunch of things in there that turned on.
Yes.
In order to get that win of getting an increase. So it is important to acknowledge all the little things. So when you write up your wins, it's not just I got an increase in salary. It's I was able to hold my position. I was able to voice my opinion. I was able to speak out. I was able to be confident.
Also, I was able to show that value to the company so they understood, so they justified the increase.
Correct. So it's all of those things. So, and when you write it out, write those things that you did, write the action steps you took, because those are the things that you will need to do something again. So when you make, like in terms of the phone call was, yes, I spoke well on the phone and I closed the deal. But what were the things that I did? I asked questions better. I did this. I did that. Yeah. Okay, great. I did that well. However, next time I want to make sure that I pay better attention for A, B, and C or whatever it is. But yeah, those are the things that are going to allow you to keep winning and keep getting better.
So, so my last question to you, so when do I write down my wins? Like in terms of time of day, or is it something I'm doing consistently? If I have a little notebook, would you suggest having a notebook to track it throughout the day, for example?
Whatever works for you.
Okay.
So for me, there are stages in my life where I've really struggled with wins. So I've carried a notebook around, and as I've had a win, I've written it down, because by the end of the day, I'm just not going to gassed. I'm not going to remember it. There are other times in my life where I will just take out my phone and make a note on my phone.
Okay.
The most optimum way would be to write it down. And so whether you carry a notebook or you have a notebook next to your bed, and before you go to bed, you write your wins down, or first thing in the morning, you get up, you write your wins, you spend some time reflecting. But I always encourage people, write it down in a notebook, have a wins journal that you can daily or consistently write down your wins.
So do I have to, so let's just say I'm starting from the beginning, right? I haven't done a journal, it's brand new. Do I have to go back, or can I start from where I'm at?
I would start right now.
Okay.
But, for some people, it is look at where you were 3 years ago and look at where you are now. If you've had a lot of growth, or, there's so many different ways to go back and reflect, then versus now. Or you can take a situation and you can go, okay, then versus now. So if I use, September 2024 versus now, I couldn't walk then. Like I was struggling to walk, 10 meters versus now 21 Ks. Well, what are the things that all the wins along my journey? Okay, I did a 5K, I did a 2K, I did this, there's so many. So it depends what you're looking to achieve. But for the average person, just get a notebook and write down the things you did well today and the things that you're winning at today. And, I always say to people, if you don't have any wins, borrow somebody else's. I look and I go, what are the wins? Oh, the win is that Barry's in Cape Town and I didn't have to go to Cape Town. I'm like, that's a win. Thank you. The win is that, I've got staff making phone calls. I don't have to make the phone calls.
It's a win for both of us.
Correct. The win is that, we're here. Recording. I don't have to do anything. I just have to talk. You're the one that has to edit it and things like that. So I'm borrowing your wins because you're editing. And so it's borrow other people's wins. I mean, the win is we have power.
Yeah.
Look at, and it's just find some, I say, stupid things, the small, insignificant things, but those are often the most powerful.
Yeah. All right. Thank you so much, Nicole. Much appreciated. I'm going to end on this. Let you guys think about it a little bit. What win in your life have you never properly acknowledged? And what would change if you did?
See you guys next week.
Bye.